Okay, I think that should do it. Is this actually working? Oh, yeah, okay. Whoop. So that's what happens. And you tab out. Good to know. Oh, should probably be on YouTube. There we go. Hey, Xavier! Hey, Pastor! Good to see you both. Alright, let's get to the screenshots today. What's... Oh, we're at nighttime already. Yeah, no, we're fixing that. Yeah, just pass the time. Nothing else we can do. God, I'm gonna have to turn down the volume just because that lightning in my ear is annoying. Woof! Woof! Yeah, exactly, Pastor. Woof. You guys see the Radigan vid that Smotown came out with today? I know I did. I got some thoughts. It is funny how, even when it's daytime, it's still night. Let's see. I was mistaken last stream. All of the Celebrant weapons, including the Cleaver, Rib Break, and Sickle, have gain rooms when hitting enemies. In fact, yeah, I noticed that today when I was looking over the text. I decided to add all of the translations to those weapons and stuff to Vati's Hero board. So thanks so much, Xavier. Gave me a reason to do all that. You done? That jet, actual sun. Not happy with it, chat. But yeah, no worries, Xavier. Finally watched Under the Skin with Grandma. I've never heard of that one, Adolphus. I'm glad you got to enjoy watching it with your grandma. Treasure your grandparents while you have them. She was confused. Was the Black Knife hood photos interesting? It was definitely interesting, but I'm not sure if it was immediately relevant to anything. So I'm gonna have to start doing some comparisons. I know I have in my likes somewhere the Godfrey Godwin quote comparisons. I'm gonna check those. Compare them to the Black Knight hoods. Gonna check some stuff on Nox, which I think we need textures for. There's a bunch of stuff where it's like, oh god. Well, we're never gonna get a good shot without the Wandering Mausoleum blocking the view, so. Almost forgot the hood. Sorry, the hood. I'm talking about hoods too much today. HUD. FromSoftware, the one redeeming quality of all of this has been just how frequently you put rocks in the way to help let me get decent angles. Shot of the lightning. Yeah, I'm gonna have so much I need to... Yeah, I think that's a good shot there. Yeah, so I think we got one of at least a few good shots. What a pretty castle, you might want to either turn the game down or turn yourself up. It's slightly hard to hear you over the lightning. Alright, we'll get away from the lightning now. Yeah, sorry guys. It's late. It's late. I'm a little tired. Not put in as much energy. Again, casual streams I don't tend to try. Try to, you know, project my voice or anything. But when I'm tired especially, I'm probably come off as even more sluggish. Lethargic. Absolutely. Soporific. Oh. Anyway. Oh, you know, I like this. I like this angle. Now, could we just do it without a snowstorm? Yes, go away, snowstorm. Yes, yes. Reveal your castle. Yes, perfect. Oh, it's beautiful, chat. I like it, chat. This is how we win. This is what we call victory. Again, future Loki can worry about the Erd tree being on fire in the background. That will annoy him. Past Loki doesn't care. He just wants to get these shots right down. Wait, but I'm technically present Loki, so who's past Loki? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. There we go. Uh-huh. At this point, I only play Elden Ring to go off the deep end to Conspiracy with Nard, or if my friend wants someone to game with. She's very casual, just waiting for the Lords of the Fallen. I mean, that's fine, Adolphus. I'd much prefer you try to think over the lore in a conspiratorial fashion if you're going to think over it at all. Can you visit the isolated tower once you've killed Melania? Sure. Again, I like how you guys are all just assuming I'm gonna kill Melania, but to be honest, that's a great way. I probably should, just because dying to Melania like for like 10 streams straight sounds like a great way for me to extend my Let's Play. Be like, okay guys, this is the section of the Let's Play where like, okay, VOD viewers, skip 10 episodes. I'll finally beat Melania. Oh man, that does sound hilarious now that I think about it. I actually might do it now. Just for the meme. But yeah, I do love how you guys are just so convinced I'm actually gonna like go so far as to beat Melania, even though I've said repeatedly I have no intention to do it. I want to see the Erd tree from there before we light it on fire. I think we're already lighting it on fire. Too late on the lighting it on fire part, Peddler. I might have jumped the gun there. It takes a couple of moments for your brain to process anything, so technically you're always past Loki. Oh wow, we're getting really philosophical, aren't we there, Xavier? There we go. A middle ground. Hey, I'm still not liking it. There we go. Much better. Stop with the snowstorms. No one likes snowstorms. Uh-huh. The thing that I feel makes Melania difficult is when she's doing the waterfowl dance and you're right next to her. Is that so, Xavier? Like I said, I feel like waterfowl, at least from my first experience with it, seems a little overrated. Like I said, I'll probably eat crow when I go try her again, only to miss every single dodge point I should for waterfowl, despite getting it so perfect the first time. Because that's just how it be. Oh, we need to get shots of this stupid skeleton. Remind me to rest at the thing here. Huh. I was actually kind of surprised that they got up like that. Alright, so what about from here? God, it just keeps going. Tree berry. Oh! Hello there. Let's see. Hello, is it a casual stream? Yes, I am. It's a casual stream. Here's how you know I am. If it's an Elden Ring stream and you're seeing me use the generic Elden Ring thumbnail and not something specific to the area, you know it's not part of the Let's Play. That's always the first hint. Almost at 80 chat. And then we have to decide what my next stat I want to level up is. I think it's gonna be mind. Although, honestly, I should probably start going for Vigor so I can survive Melania. There. Happy. Alright. I'm not sure how I feel about this, chat. I could always get a shot here. Oh no. I'll be honest, I hate it all. You need like 56 vigor. Well, that's 56 levels. I guess we'll be farming in Mogwin, farming Albinorix for a while. Truly, Albinorix are cursed. They exist to be farming fodder. Truly cursed. Or maybe not. I don't know who died or for what reason, but I'll take it. I'll take your death for $600, Alex. Let's see. Really, old chap? You're gonna be like that? This is why we have to do this stuff more often, my friend. Piece of shit. There we go. Loki, the drip is undripping. I don't know what you're talking about. I am. This is the drippiest of drip. Ignore the frozen icicles forming. It is still dripping. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, looks like wrong one. Speaking of Nart, you got any thoughts on the tower leading to the Forbidden Lands and how it's the same as the Karian Study Hall? That just gives me the indication, Adolphus, that the Karian Study Hall itself, in its totality, may have been built at Radigan's direction. Excuse me, chat. Just gonna make my life easier. Alright, got some of our Sun Knight boys. God, don't you love clear weather? Clear skies? Everywhere? It's absolutely beautiful, chat. You're pretty over-leveled and you're using spells, so I'm not surprised you're not having that bad of a time. Are you talking about the, are you talking about the Melania thing? I mean, I don't know if I'm over-leveled for Melania. Like, can you be over-leveled for Melania? But as far as, like, her, as far as, like, my difficulty with her, right? The issue I see with Melania has nothing to do with her waterfowl dance, is what I'm saying. I haven't actually seen how fast I can get her down with health bars and stuff, and I haven't actually like tried maximizing my damage. I mean, I assume I'm gonna do okay, especially with AD int now. Gosh, you guys are gonna be like this, huh? Yeah, okay. Mr. Double Bandit, Pseudo Bandit. Should have used a guard counter, my man. Just guard counter. That's the new Elden Ring mechanic, don't you know? I know, you probably forgot about it. Everyone else did. Oh. Whatever. Also, why do I have this screenshot in the middle of my chat? How long has that been there? This is what I get for looking at chat and not my actual rest of my screen. Okay, sir, this is cheating. Sir, this is cheating. I'm gonna report you. Looks like I got reported first. I got permabanned. Alright. What the hell am I looking at? Holy hell, I opened multiple of these. Oh no. Loki pulls a Loki. That wasn't my comment. Oh. Sorry, Xavier. I don't even know what comment I was commenting on. That wasn't your comment. Listen, one of these days I'll glance over and actually get everyone's chat correct, okay? Today's just not one of them. Alright, I think we got everything, so let's go back to here and go around back so we can get the graveyard stuff in the back. Seath is disappointed in me. Why? Because I'm not gone crazy? Because I'm not into black-haired women? Like, why? Why is Seath mad at me? Because I'm moving in on Velka? I've been playing the new Final Fantasy and it's awesome. Ooh, that's cool, Xavier. Oh, would you look at that, chat? Hey, Haley Tree. I'm gonna take this shot for posterity's sake, just because it's one of the few shots we have of just having all that red, brown, whatever that color's supposed to be, exposed. And not in small amounts, like, say, here. Although... Oh, why is the lantern on? This ain't too bad either. Okay, Torrent. Wait. Let's see. I see what comment it was. It was probably responding to Peddler instead of you, Xavier. My bad. Oh. Should probably stop hitting right instead of left. Stupid Snowhawk. Alright, so let's see. Anything from Castle Soul that I need to get besides the interior stuff? Yeah. I want to get one of the portraits, right? I want to get the portrait. I'm surprised there aren't more people talking about the Radigan video today. Are we just not that interested in Radigan anymore? Is he old news? Is he old hat, as they say? Yeah, we don't care about this graveyard, because this one doesn't matter to me. Nah, this is just standard Banished Knight stuff, so... What'd you think of the new sort of? And there's Xavier. Xavier instantly asking that question right as I am. So, it's an awesome video. I really liked how it all came together. Now, keep in mind, I say that, but I'm speaking objectively about the video versus my personal opinions on it, which I disagree with about, like, half of it, probably. Maybe a little less than half. One part, of course, Smotown was very open about. He took a very different take from where my position is on the origins, the when and why for Radigan's existence. And in fairness to him, he himself acknowledges he's actually very shaky on that aspect of his own video. Like, that's not something that he's holding to, like, very firmly. Nope. So I'm not even gonna kind of be like, I'm not gonna be too harsh on him on that part. Because it seems like, at least my impression is he seemed to be making the decision based on what he felt was best at the time that he was making this video, and not something that he felt like he was done, sort of like feeling like, okay, this answers all my questions, this makes me feel like I've got every little detail done. But yeah, I might have wanted to narrow that stuff down considering how important it is to Radigan's character, but to each their own. I disagree with how he interprets the final battle. So you mean the entire thing with Radigan and Gideon, how he interprets Gideon mistaking Radigan for America? The only thing that sounded like off to me was that when he was talking about the end and all that stuff, I'm not sure Smotown himself understood what exactly Gideon was getting at, right? Because he kind of went down the direction of it's this eldritch thing beyond understanding and stuff. I'm not quite convinced that's the reason why it was terrifying. Because my understanding of Gideon's line when he's talked about that is that he's, you know, on this endless search for knowledge, and apparently, whatever... Oh. Well, there's my life. Apparently, that endless search of knowledge has an ending for whatever reason. He found that ending, and that is what terrified him. So I'm not exactly sure if his motives, whether or not he's being fooled by Radigan, are quite the way he describes it. I definitely feel like that argument needs more cooking. No, how he thinks America becomes inert when Radigan dies. Ah, I see. The idea that because America, I guess the idea is because America just is basically like a broken statue or whatever. Nope. There's my death. Doing this without UI is surprisingly more difficult than you think. He lost his prime so Radigan fans can rot. I interpreted she's just dead already, and Radigan just controls her body until he's beaten. Well, the thing is, I don't think she's dead. Well, maybe she's dead after Radigan dies. Like, maybe. I don't think she's, like, dead, though. Because otherwise they wouldn't make a point of how America, one of seemingly Hugh being in some sort of contact with her, which, again, seems to be only after she's been imprisoned that type of, at least that's my impression of Hugh's quest so far. That seems to be the idea. Okay, there's the soldier. Let me just kill these things. After getting out of there, ow. You guys, can you all just stop? Okay, that's it. We're turning on the UI for this chat. I can't talk to you guys and do this without having any reference to what my HP bar is for all my mistakes. Oh, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know if she's dead. It seems to me the idea is that they've imprisoned her. As a consequence of imprisoning her, she seems to more or less act like a corpse, and she may be dead to some level, but she definitely seems to be alive on some level as well. So, yeah. Why did you turn off the UI in the first place? For the screenshots, I am. Because I was taking screenshots. Again, these are me taking screenshots for potentially a post on the website. There we go. Yeah, no, it's the Gideon thing is what really kind of has me being like, is that really, though? Is that really? Is Gideon just overwhelmed by the eldritch horror before him? Like, maybe, possibly. I don't know. It sounds like when you're talking about the end of, when the all-knowing is at the end of knowing, it seems like there's something much more existential going on with Gideon and what he's learned from America. What has him so spooked? There we go. But hey, what is with the red gold spear with the helix that's in her side? I assume that's part of her being imprisoned, right? Like, I'm sure you could argue I'm sure you can argue a whole crucifixion thing, right? Oh, you know, Christ, he was crucified, and there was the spear that was put inside his side as well, right? And you can kind of say how that's supposed to be like a visual parallel in that respect, and how America is the Christ-like figure in this area. Died for her own sins or whatever. I can imagine that's sort of the parallel. But in terms of, like, why it's there, I don't know. Probably Greater Will was like, okay, we're going to pin you up onto this, like, little rune arc thing, but, you know, to hold you up, I'm going to have this anti-gravity spear thing through your bottom half. Enjoy. I don't know. Alrighty. Castle. Again, the inside of the castle, I think. Everything else. Yeah, we can move on. Alright, so we're talking about the Banished Knights, so we need to start looking at the Fortified Manor. I mean, the Elden Beast crucifies you and it grabs you, but it uses many normal golden spears. Good to know, but I assume the idea is then the Greater Will, because again, the Elden Beast is not necessarily is not directly the Greater Will, right? It's like the Greater Will's pet dog. Because it's the Elden Ring. It is the Golden Order itself. It is a manifestation of those things. Yeah. Another issue I had with the Smotown video is, again, call me predictable. But when he started referencing Tarnished Archaeologist theory, which, okay, first, let me get this through, chat. Does Tarnished Archaeologist actually advocate for the idea that all this Ashen Lane Dell is because of the burning of the Erd Tree, which occurred during the Crucible era? Is that supposed to, like, and it is what caused the end of the Crucible? Is that seriously something he advocates, or was Smotown kind of just, like, leapfrogging off a general burning idea? Because I remember TA talking about the ashes one time and the burning, but I can't remember the context. I don't remember if that's accurately portraying his thoughts on the matter. Is the greater will a godly being? Yes, I am. The fact that it seems to be responsible for all the godly beings very much kind of indicates that if we had to put a capital G God on anything, it would be the greater will. It's so weird. It's just so weird being like all these houses everywhere, and then they actually made like it's like, oh yeah, this is where Morgoth lives. we won't put the lamb's blood here for Passover. Oh, gonna die. As I should. I think so. I don't recall. Okay. Well, I'm gonna assume that isn't actually what he advocates, and just assume like that was just like Smotown leapfrogging then, just to play it safe. But yeah, I don't think that's a. I don't think that's it at all. For what? Okay, I understand Granzax being still here, even though the Ancient Dragon War, I think most everyone agrees, takes place during Godfrey's reign, right? I think most people would agree. You're gonna need more than a few trolls to move this shit and clear this out of the way. So let's just make it like a modern art sculpture being erected in a new city and let it be the eyesore it is. I'm totally okay with that. The ash, though? You're telling me all this ash, covering even doorways, in many cases, has just been kind of left hanging around? Yeah, no. I have a incredibly hard time believing any of that. You're just not gonna convince me of that. So many leaves. The fallen leaves get in the way of my story. Yeah, I know, my lore questions are very simplistic, lol. That's fine, I am. You said before that you actually find these streams useful for learning lore and stuff, which again, I find very surprising when it's just my casual talk, but I'm very, very happy that you seem to get some entertainment value out of this. I've been thinking, when the Tarnished returned, did Morgoth just let them do their thing until he realized they would burn the Erd Tree down? Yes, Peddler, that would be my idea. In fact, actually, that goes back to my point. As far as the ash is concerned, I've said this before, at least on Discord or something. Maybe I've said it on stream, but I'm pretty sure it's just Vike. I'm pretty sure the idea was that Vike tried using the Frenzied Flame to burn down the Erd Tree or whatever. That didn't work. Hence the whole we have to go through the Giant's Flame and everything like everybody else and all that, right? But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the idea, because that was probably the idea when the Frenzied Flame first came to be. And then, as we know, Destined Death got sealed away after the Frenzied Flame came to be by, at the end of the, not at the end of the flare, exactly, but after the God Hunts and all that, right? So, no surprise. You know what I'm thinking, chat? I'm thinking we have to be up here. Let's try taking the shot from here. But yeah, it's very clear looking at like corpses and stuff in here that Tarnished were welcome, and obviously the Fortified Manor proper is that the Tarnished were welcome in Langdell under again, keep in mind this is all under Morgoth for a time, right? He was totally cool. It was like, okay, Tarnished, yeah, you've been selected by the Greater Will to replace the demigods. Good, because those demigods, they're filthy stinking traitors, the whole lot of them. I support you. This is what the will of the Greater Will and the Erd Tree or whatever. That's fine, right? But as we know, the Erd Tree ultimately rebuffs the quote-unquote Erd Tree, as Smotown points out, seemingly Radigan. Which, again, I wanna experience it for myself, but I think that it's a rational take to say that if the Two Fingers doesn't know what's going on and has to try to contact the Greater Will to figure out what's going on, then it's probably not actually the Greater Will, the Erd Tree, and the Two Fingers. It's, as we see, Radigan. Radigan. And that being the case, it makes sense for Morgoth to already be like, okay, Erd Tree rebuffs you for whatever reason. I guess there's something going wrong. But then I think what happens was that Vike, who as we know was the closest to becoming the Lord and taking the throne, probably as afterward went down under Langdell and adopted Frenzy. So it's like, okay, why would you go down there and adopt the Frenzy suddenly? Well, the obvious reason is, well, because you want the fire, so then you can burn the Erd Tree so you can get inside of it and do your whole Elden thing, right? Become Lord. And then after that, as we know, Morgoth becomes obsessed with this idea of Tarnished being... the English is emboldened, but the Japanese is burned by the flame of ambition, right? So, obviously it's a metaphor, but if you take in the context of Vike, you're like, ah, I see where he got that that allegory from someone who was actually burned by a flame and was ambitious. So ambitious that he would burn the Morgoth's precious Erd Tree. So, yeah. There, I think we found the angle, chat. The stupid leaves. I swear, every time I'm like, ooh, the angle's good. There we go. I think we got it there. Hey, the donk. What? What did I walk into? Who won the Erd Tree in the divorce? We have no idea. Unfortunately. It seems like Radigan ended up taking it home. But America got their dog Hugh, so I think it all worked out in the end. Got the family pet. After meeting Shabriri, I assume? Yeah, possibly. It could be that he met Shabriri, yes. Because I think there's a line about him being guided, possibly. And it would make sense if Shabriri was doing the guiding. I feel like you like Elden Ring lore. I guess I do. More of a Dark Souls lore enthusiast, if I'm being honest. But yes, I do dabble in my ER lore. Oh, we're gonna try down here now. Yeah, so that's one part of, yeah, so that last part about the burning thing. I would say the burning with all the ash is much more recent, hence why it hasn't been cleaned up. Because Morgoth's basically had everything on lockdown. And has been focused on getting rid of Tarnished. Foul Tarnished. Emboldened by the flames of ambition. I don't... God, I love... I forget who Morgoth's VA is, but goddamn is he good. Excuse me. Please. Sorry to kill men and women of the cloth, but... I love Morgoth, he's my favorite character. Yeah, he's slowly growing on me. The more I look into his... The more I, like, ruminate on him, his history, his backstory, his characterization. And his, obviously, his voice acting. I'm really liking him. Let's try going inside the fortified manor now. Actually, no. Maybe we can get an angle the other way now? Or maybe we can try it from atop Grandsax? Does Grandsax let us get a look at the fortified manor from atop his corpse? I want to say no. Alright. There. Done. Excuse me, sir. I know I could have probably just snuck by you with my silent footsteps right now. Sorry, can't be bothered. Here we go. Yeah, no. I don't think we're gonna get what I want. Yeah, they're just gonna have Grand Sax block most of it with his body. Darn. Those finger reader corpses are just Morgoth killing them for not giving him the answer he wants, I'm guessing. Maybe another possibility is that they're because of the Black Knife Assassin. Because keep in mind, there's a Black Knife Assassin resting at Marika's bedchamber, so it's possible that the assassin killed all the finger readers herself while she was fighting her way up there. Also, I'm just gonna say, Morgoth goes to all the strengths to make sure that these assassins can't be can't go slip through all invisible and shit. And yet one manages to get to Marika's bedchamber. And literally the highest, most secure part of Leyndell next to Morgoth's own throne room, right? Like the Elden Throne Chamber. I'm just saying. Morgoth needs to re-examine security. Clearly, he's got issues. I'll take this shit. Damn, giant leaf. Giant leaves! Alright, now we can go inside. Okay, where are you? Ah, there you are. God, the sound design in Leyndell is still my favorite. Wait, are those red trees, chat? Nani? Those are. Chat, where do we find these red trees? I don't think they're in Farm Azula, at least. I don't think so. I don't remember them being in Farm Azula. Me trying to get on Torrent to jump up here. I think that'll do. What are Royal Revenants? I don't know. They're again, the implication is they're royalty, right? Or kings or something. But how do you have a king among Revenants? Why do Revenants have a king? Why are they of contorted abominations? Truly, the question for the ages. Why do they have multi-arms for the regular Revenants people? I don't know. I'm just... It's all weird to me. That's cool. Wow, that's even better, chat. What do you know? Having the light on both of the trees. What a novel concept. Alright. I think that's good enough. But yeah, what do you know? Red trees right directly in front of Fortified Manor. I don't think we see that anywhere else in Leyndell. That's cool. Hey, Nameless. Are we having some new people in here? I don't recognize some of your names. Welcome on in, if so. This is a very casual stream today, so forgive me if I'm not being on my A game. can tell you my gameplay is definitely not on its A game. How do I live? I guess that was what I expected. Yep, good to see you. They seem to be undead, but aren't those who live in death, and they are the only enemies that take damage from healing. Yeah, so they seem to have some, like, antithetical relationship with holy power, right? So powers related to the Erd Tree and gold. So they might be cursed beings in some respects. I have to double check what the Japanese name for those enemies were. I remember looking it up a very long time ago, but I can't remember. I want to say the term for Revenant is the same term as the followers of Faron, but I'd have to double check, because it's been so long. Alright. Yeah, I get you. Again, chat, until we get back to screenshots, I'm gonna have my HUD up. I also need to rememorize my spells. If that's how you're gonna be. Oh wow, you can't hit me that low, huh? There we go. Need line of sight, bastard. And then I gave it to you. Karma's a bitch, chat. Don't date her. She ain't worth it. I love it when they dodge, when they physically can't dodge. Makes me all giddy inside. Also, just so we get a look at a dragon. A dragon's gold beneath the gravel. Are they undead through the power of curses? They drop Glovewort. That could be Xavier. We know that we know the spirit callers with the multi-arms, they like using bells in order to summon cursed vengeful spirits and stuff, right? So like those types of entities. So wouldn't it be crazy to imagine that these cursed folk they can conjure up include like the Royal Revenants. But I have to double check, because I can't remember if the Royal Revenants are like designed similar to them. Also, it's very interesting how they use the Sinner corpse for Albric. Well, chat, this is one of those glowstone times. And this, chat, is why I'm incredibly grateful to have learned about glowstones. The dragon is growing grass. Shake my head. What does it mean, Miyazaki? What does it mean? What does it all mean? Where's the lighting better? This way? Yeah, this angle's better. This is the better angle. Maybe just get the close-up instead. Yeah, you know what? I think I like this better. The less we focus on the Erd Tree stuff, the better. I think we can get a better shot from up here, though. Right? If I remember? Well, that design definitely looks better on these front banners here that face the player up at top. Yeah. Yeah, just compare that blurry thing to that. 100 times sharper. Ah. That's an awful angle. That's also an awful angle. So yeah, best angle is this. Yeah. There we go. All of it's being documented. Go. They teleport through going to the ground. Oh, it seems they drop Ghost Glove Ward specifically. If we keep focusing on the tree, we might become mentally mad like C. That is definitely possible. Too much tree. Definitely a possibility. Ah, yes, the lifeless. It's so bright here. Like, it's so overexposed. Alright, we gotta balance this out, chat. There we go. There we go. Using glowstone for controlled lighting. It seems I don't have to remind you that glowstones exist anymore. Well, now that I'm actually using them 2 days in a row, I'm probably going to remember them more consistently, yes. Yes, unfortunately, chat, my memory may be a sieve, but... Or maybe fortunately in your case, Xavier. But I do tend to remember things as I repeatedly do them every day. That is, in fact, a thing. I feel like I just want to get concept art of this, these shields for the details on their design. Yeah, we can come back and take the shots relevant to, like, Godfrey's history with this place. Oh, look at that. I found more plants. Are these in the round table hole? I'll have to double check. I don't remember that. It's amazing what you can do when you have silenced footsteps, chat. Honestly, I should equip the shadow spell so I can make even our enemies not have to... Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. How rude. You put weapons into the dining room? What? Is it whenever there's gonna be like a family spat? You go and grab the spear? How rude. In-game model's not doing it for the shields. Oh, no, they aren't. Really, they aren't. It's just so... The stuff is just so low quality and, yeah. Just super low polygons, all pixely. The lighting's not that great. Like, it's all these things where it just makes me go, nah, I don't want to take a screenshot of that close up. Oh my god. Get out here. I can't believe the dog jumped all the way up here just so he could get me. What an asshole. Again, chat, this is at maximum brightness, by the way. I could not make this area any brighter. Again, maybe future Loki will have issue with me using these glowstones in order to create more lighting, and that it's a huge distraction. But you know what? That's for future Loki to worry about. Past Loki's totally okay with this. Past Loki sees no issue whatsoever with any of this. Why would he? Past Loki has achieved Zen. God, I hate it. I hate it no matter what. Alright. This, though. This we take close-ups on. I feel like this has to be a shield that's used somewhere, right? It's not Godfrey's axe, though, right? Maybe it's supposed to be Elman? No, Elmans have different stuff here. Because they have the Great Sword model, they have a bunch of existing... I don't feel like they would create an axe model they wouldn't use here. Alright, this is America's room, so I'm not expecting anything too banished nighty to be here. Yeah, no. By the way, all the shadow and distraction stuff makes a fake Grace Ghost, if I recall correctly. Funny. Again, we don't care about the round table itself. They're just random weapons. Nope, just the Lothric royal family crest casually on the carpet. Really, Dung Eater? You had to be that violent about it? It got up on top of the... How's the janitor supposed to clean that up? Even the Beast Lore Pot makes one, I think. Oh. I wonder if that's just a symbol, or if there's actually something deeper meaning there. These are the same armors the knights in Stormvale Castle wear. Yes, exactly. I am. Because this is where they came from. Well. Yeah, no, that's fair enough to say. They all came from Fortified Manor. I was about to be like, well, you know, technically they came from various places across the plateau that were settled there, but ultimately they all came from Fortified Manor, yeah. The axe you were looking at is the axe the gladiators use. Gosh, I was like, I know I've seen that somewhere. Like, there's no way I haven't seen that design at some point. My man slaughtered everyone. Oh, you know what? The chairs. That's who we can look at here. Gotta remember trying to get shots in this area originally without the glowstones. And all I had to say was, fuck it. Go, more hawks. Alright, let's do the balcony like we originally intended. Again, I always find it very cool how the entrance chamber, they erected the true Erdtree Sentinel, so like you would go up the staircase from the main atrium, right, and be like, now entering his lord, our goddess, Marika, or whatever, right? And she walks right in between the Erdtree Sentinels. Then you got all these other people with the whole representation of picking the Erdtree and all that. You got the Crucible symbol in the center. Like, again, there's just... FromSoftware's environmental storytelling details can be so good. Well, that solves our problem now, doesn't it, chat? That solves our problem quite nicely. Are you gonna... I could have swore this thing was, like, non-blurry for a bit there, but I guess I was crazy. You know, it happens, chat. God, what is that angle? There we go. I don't know, but something about the angle made all the fabric look like it was, like, gonna give me one of those, what do they call it, those, psychological tests that make you kind of think if you're trying to trick your brain into seeing, like, oh, you're seeing something or not, or some shit. There we go. I think this is perfection there. Perfect, chat. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You know what I mean by Grayscos, right? The little humanity-looking thing floating. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean when you're saying that. Don't worry, Xavier. The chairs have a hawk symbol, it looks like. Yeah, they have hawks too, yeah, so. Again, this is because the Banished Knights aren't associated... The Banished Knights didn't become associated with hawks only when they got to Stormvale. That goes all the way back to Far Missoula, right? As we see in, well, Far Missoula. Oh, I keep forgetting this throne just breaks. Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We're all fine. How are you? Okay. Fortified Manor, I think, is basically done. Maybe we do the courtyard. I only want to check one thing. So this here tells us this was only made when the Erd Tree was around. That much we can say for sure. Again, I've talked about on past streams how I've debunked TA's weird Great Tree different. That different stratification of eras just doesn't work. Period. So we have this, which is the clearly Norman style, right? And you have a bit of that Norman architecture down here, too. You can see it in the underside of the bridges and stuff. It's this part that seems to cause controversy. Especially considering the bridge is missing. But the bridge could have been removed at any point. After Rykard goes, you know... After Rykard goes rogue and gets discovered for it. So you have the men with the books, right? So you have the quote-unquote saint statues. I like to call these the paladin statues with the sword. And then you got the scholar or sage statues down here. The difference in the clothing? Yeah! There's actually some differences in the clothing, too. Interesting. I didn't realize that. That's neat. Do we see this stuff anywhere else, chat, with these rounded towers here? Like, I'm trying to think of other locations which use these models. Maybe in the other bridges here? The other Divine Tower, maybe? That's the only other one I can think of. I bet you some of those weird weapons embedded into the round table in the DLC. Oh, ooh, I didn't even think about that, Xavier. That'd be an interesting idea. So let's see. Then we have this. So blocks, blocks, but you have like the really tiny blocks here. Yeah, where else is all this used? Want to test something? What's the architecture for this tower bridge? Oh, it's the same thing. Yes, you got Banished Knights, right? What's the tower like this look like from the... This looks like this uses the same model as the one in Fortified Manor, at least, so that's... Also, I didn't realize, but they really went crazy with the dragon and Erdtree banners covering up these statues. How did this look compared to what we had back at Fortified Manor? I can't recall. We're gonna have to look at that. Isn't the guy here a uniquely large variant of the golem? Is he uniquely large? I actually don't remember. I fought that guy so long ago, and he just seemed big like all the others, so I don't know if he was bigger than the others. That totally slipped by me. Oh. But yeah, this is the same stuff we see. Okay, so it's just the bridge architecture, maybe? I have to check the Karian Study Hall one now. Has the Erdtree imagery and everything, so definitely consistent. If I recall correctly, we have the bridge. So I think at least this aspect isn't new. Oh, this is going to be tough, Jack, because now we have to get into the idea of how much was this added onto or renovated. I'm going to have to go check that Stormvale picture. Yeah, so this is all consistent. Yeah. It's all consistent. Oh, right. Look, it's the see-through tree again, even though it's not like that at any other angle except for reason. It's probably little weirdness like this that causes some of those theories we saw in Smotown's bit about the phantom tree. Yeah, my problem with the phantom tree theory that Smotown was bringing up is that this whole idea that the tree is like totally illusory or whatever, like it's not really the tree, it's gone, it's just an object of faith. One, Smotown completely missed something I sent him in his My Radigan doc, that when he was talking about the whole, oh look, the faltering faith and all that, yeah, that ain't a thing. America's not talking in her dialogue about how their faith is faltering or whatever. It's like, oh no, why do you falter or whatever. It's like, no, she's saying, hey, why do you hesitate? And it's not about your faith hesitating, it's about your hesitation to extend your faith to intelligence, to reason, to sorcery and stuff like that. Well, not necessarily sorcery in the context she's speaking of, but you know, the same stuff that eventually creates Golden Order fundamentalism by studying both intelligence and faith. It's about adding intelligence to your faith build, right? That's what's got America all in a tizzy. Yeah, see? As soon as you do this, it's done. Honestly, I think what happened was there's some weird glitch or whatever that causes this to have like a see-through model or whatever, or to become translucent, similar to stuff when you're too close. I don't know what is governing it or what have you, but something weird's going on there. You have some of the same architecture that we see there, so it might be the Erdtree reliefs are the unique thing they added. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the golem at the Divine Bridge is larger than normal. I checked. Good to know. Int build. Hey, Scott Serlin. You new to it too? Welcome on in. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the whole faltering faith thing, like, it just doesn't hold up. It's quite simple what happened. The Crucible came to an end. Probably because America removed the Rune of Death. You kind of changed up the formula, naturally. That's going to have some effects down the line, which leads to the Omen Curse, which leads to the Crucible going away. when the Crucible ends and you just have regular Erdtree. Now, I don't know if it necessarily had the Phantom form or not at that point, quote-unquote. But as we can see, that Phantom glowing golden part is only bark deep. Anyway, when the Crucible met its end, it starts sowing seeds. These seeds spread across the lands between and become the minor Erdtrees when they're fully grown, right? Similar to how we're starting to see the early stages of that with the current Phantom trees we can loot seeds from, because they spread around and started taking root across the lands as well after the Marika broke the Elden Ring. Marika, realizing how she doesn't understand how any of this shit works, and it's doing the Erdtree is doing a lot of weird crap she wasn't expecting, realizes, okay, also she knows that she can't trust the Greater Will after making her kill her daughter, cough cough. So after all that, it seems that, there we go, this is what we want to check, right? Yeah. After all that, Marika realizes, okay guys, we got to start adding some int to our build. Our blind faith build just ain't cutting it. We need to at least have a little bit of int in there. Oh, the doors are closed? That's kind of... Oh, you know what? I bet they're closed because we flipped the thing back around, didn't we? Yeah, I bet you that's the reason. So Xavier said this is basically the same model as what we see in the Forbidden Lands structure lift we have to take down. But I think he said it was stripped down, so I assume it does have these gargoyles and stuff on it. Does that have those Liurnianisms? The rest of this is pretty consistent. Uh-huh. And similar rock down here. Okay, so this is all consistent. Okay. So the only question then is the Erdtree reliefs. There we go. Huh. Let's go down here. Should have just done Arcane, shake my head. That's the funny thing, Peddler. She was already an Arcane build. Like, that's the thing with Marika being Newman. See, here's the problem that Marika had. She's a Newman, specifically Nox, right? I've said it before. Pretty sure she's a Nox from this Eternal City in particular, right? Hence why she looks different from the others, because they literally settled around the Erdtree and have, like, it seemed to have a heterodox culture that lets them become friendly with Langdell and all that. So, we essentially have... Yeah, so it seems besides the entryway, this entry hall might be different. But yeah, the rest of the building does remind me a lot of what we already saw earlier, huh? Anyway, so Marika is a Nox there, right? And the Nox are basically known for being arcane builds. As we can see, their intelligence, quote-unquote sorcery or whatever they have, seems to be a result of them collaborating with sorcerers above ground at places like, say, Celia, right? So you get, like, Night Maiden's Mist, which takes, say, the spell that the Night Maidens cast seemingly through their natural arcane sensitivities or whatever, and now it's using int and stuff like that, right? Might have a little bit of int in their build, right? But Marika doesn't really have that. She's all faith. So she's like, well, we gotta now add some int. Hence why she has to go to Liurnia to kind of jumpstart her studies. So we have the sage stuff all the way up here. What? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything about that. Sorry, Xavier. You talked about what I was answering Peddler for. Aye. Sorry, chat. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm not saying or reading names properly. I'm not even conscious I'm doing it at this point. You know what? I'm just gonna start referring to you guys all collectively as chat. I can't be wrong if you're all chat. You have no individuality. Right. Going through here again, double checking things. Yeah, this isn't strictly needed for the screenshots that I want, but I want to do these checks before we head off. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need. for the pre-America Horaloo part of the timeline. Maybe the Altus tunnel? Yeah, the top of the dirt tree, you can see normal branches that has some of the gold glowing over with tendrils. I think Zeostorm's video mentions it. Yeah. Yeah, so for whatever reason, that golden glowing shell there, again, it might be like, the TA/Smowtown theory posits that there is, it's because of a burning. Very possible. But in that case, it would not be because of a burning that ended and created the Crucible, and now there's no tree around, so therefore it's just a quote-unquote object of faith. It's simply because, again, goes back to my point of Vike recently tried to burn the Erd Tree, it didn't really work, and maybe what we see is the Erd Tree repairing the damage going all Phantom, similar to how we see many early stage minor Erd Trees go all Phantom as they start growing early on, because they're in the early stages of taking form. So it's kind of like, okay, we're regrowing or growing, you're gonna see those Phantom Tree aspects. That could be the idea. Again, I'm not so sold on that, because we know the Erd Tree used to shine, quote-unquote, brighter before the America broke the Elden Ring. So that leads me to believe that it was probably always like that, but again, I'm just humoring this. I'm trying to humor TA, so I'm not just always breaking down every single concept he seems to put forth. Hey there, I'm chat, we're all chat, yeah. See chat, your chat, I'm chat, we're all chat, really. In essence, aren't we all just chatting? Isn't life just one big chat? It's just the great chat room. God. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything special on the inside, chat. Let's compare it over here now. Yeah, there's not a similar... Yeah, they're not too similar. I prefer my names. No problem, Xavier. I'll make sure to call you out. I'm gonna try to call you only when you're actually the person I should be addressing. I'll try to do better. I haven't really thought too much about this stuff. I wonder... It kind of reminds me of, like, Is Cosmos stuff, but I'm assuming it's supposed to be, like, related to the fire, right? I assume. Oh, it's nighttime. There we go. I can't sleep. It's okay, John. I can't sleep either. That's why I'm here. I was like, oh, I'll go to sleep. And then I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to sleep. Well, I guess I stream. I was actually going to skip streaming today because it's just been a very long, busy day. But nope, that ain't happening now. Alright, we go here. Oh. The archways might be the same? I'm gonna ask Adolphus if he has any side-by-side comparisons of this stuff. It's hard for me with my current tiredness to keep track of all this. Same floor tile. So there's that. So it's quite possible that these were all whatever civilization made the Divine Towers. Although that is a bit weird, because they have stuff like this, and it doesn't use the same magic as the towers themselves. Like, I guess it's possible the towers are older than the bridges, right? Chat, do we see this design anywhere used anywhere else? I'm gonna take a screenshot just in case. There it is. There's Melena's room. Yeah, this is all consistent with the architecture, huh? Yeah. Uh-huh. By the way, thank you for listening to the Metroid Prime soundtracks, even if they weren't your thing. Oh, no problem, Xavier. Like I said, I constantly need new stimuli, I should say, for when I'm working. Because as much as I do love listening to certain songs on repeat, like it just strikes my mood, and I'll just listen to the same song on loop for 24 hours. It is nice when I can get completely new experiences too, and they just kind of fade in the background and let me enjoy them. I consider it a personal pleasure. Yeah, so architecture is consistent all the way through. Okay. Now, do these have the Erd tree on the other side of them? Okay, horse, sorry. I can't suffer you to live. There you go. Oh, that's right, I forgot you're a thing. Well. I thought your poise would break, to be honest. I just took out a horse's liver. Oh, that's another waste of a glow. I keep wasting glowstones! Erdtree Circus. Yep, there's Erdtree images here. So either we have to argue that these bridges were built after the Erdtree started rising up, or they were renovated on. I think renovated is the best option. Yeah, and this is very clearly Lingdell. Yeah, very clearly Lingdell. I like how you kill the knight, the horse still lives on. Yep, and then I killed the horse anyway. I'm a bastard, aren't I? Doesn't matter if it's my name or not, I'm just here to listen to lore and make silly comments. Then keep on keeping on, I am. Silly comments help keep me awake. Ah, it's cool, they even have the Erdtree torch things here with the glowing leaves. The glowing leaves tell a story. is the same texture used for the tower roads. I'm kind of curious how extensive this is. Now that I look at it, these blocks are looking a little messy. Huh. Now this is... looks like it should be a different style of road here. Could be wrong though, let me get out here. Alright. Gotta go back, chat. I think I might spot something interesting. Where's my slicer? I want my Carian slicer! Gotta re-equip it! Memorization! Where else do we see these roads, chat? Roads with blocks like this. I can't think of any. Maybe it's elsewhere in Langdell that I skipped? But I'm not thinking of any place. So it's starting to feel like everything except for this edge part with like the railings is actually rather old road, which goes back to my pagan district point, as we pointed out earlier. Well, not earlier in the stream, but early in my life. I know, incredibly late. Forgive the man who is probably should be trying to go to sleep by this point. Oh, sorry. We got ourselves a pagan style flat top graves. Uniquely here compared to the flower top graves everywhere else in Langdell. Yeah, this is all normal. All normal Erdtree renovations. Statues might be from the old time, though. Interesting. Yeah, so it seems that the game pretty liberally, freely renovates stuff at the developer's leisure. So I don't think we have to worry about arguing about the Erdtree reliefs being tacked on by some party or another at some point. But so we have the normal stuff. It's when it curves, it seems that this these roads are different. I might want to get a screenshot of just this in general. Alright. There. I like this better. God, everyone's dead here. Okay, I believe their corpses are going to move off this if I leave, so let's do that. Hey, Night Scout. Hi, Loki. Playthrough day or architecture day? As I was saying earlier in the stream, Night Scout, the way you know is if you check the thumbnail. Am I using a generic Elden Ring thumbnail with like just the title screen, I think the cover art or whatever, then yes, it's a casual stream. Does it have like a unique thumbnail tailored to the area that we are trying or planning or whatever exploring? Then yes, it is a Let's Play stream. Oh, so there's two of these guys here, so darn. Today though is screenshot stream. Oh, you know, these are really, really good shots, so. Get your head back down, Misbegotten. You're getting in the way of the shot. Oh no, chat. I got the dildo in the shot. I didn't want to get the peg. Also, when did you wake up? Sarah, you always make my day that much worse. I just want you to know. Oh, right. I keep wasting my glowstones! I wasted like 10 glowstones just because I randomly cycle through it. I really should. I need to put them on quick select. That's what I need to do. Like, I need to get rid of the lantern and put it on the quick select instead. Oh! The red trees are used here, chat. Just like in front of Fortified Manor. I swear, my Godfrey's Reign analysis is just gonna keep on getting bigger. Like, I hit the 50-page mark finally. I'm just like, God. And I still haven't covered God Hunts, Liurnian War, Omen. Like, there's just so much stuff I haven't covered in detail. And then I look at, I'm doing shit like this, and I'm like, oh God, there's more stuff to add to the existing sections I've covered. No! The evidence is overwhelming! I'm dying for your... Excuse me. Well, I guess if you're not gonna get in the way... If you insist on just not bugging me, I guess I can accept you surviving. I guess I can let you live. I suppose. We can make an arrangement. Also, why is it getting foggier? No, go away, fog. You're having a beautiful, nice, clear, sunny day. Go away, fog. There we go. There we go. Yeah, not sure if I want the Misbegotten in the shot yet. Here's a thought, chat. What if the Misbegotten are the result of banished knights at the Fortified Manor in their desperation to try to fight back against Horalu? Tried to draw on the powers of the Erd Tree, the Crucible at the time, without fully, of course, understanding or using it properly or whatever, right? And that, as a result, turned into the hulking monstrosities we know as Misbegotten. At the Misbegotten, we see praying and doing so here essentially receive their own quarter under Godfrey's reign when they agree to assimilate, even if they wouldn't convert to Erdtree religion. Just a thought. Oh. Are they really red trees or just autumn/dead trees? Well, Night Scout, we find them in front of Fortified Manor, so I would say that the red coloration is very much intentional. Now these are two places we can associate with pagan areas that happen to have these very bright, obviously red leaves, and they don't look dead to me. Yeah, it looks like all the trees in the pagan district are red. At the least the ones that have survived. We don't know about these dead ones here. These might be different, but at least the ones that are still around, yeah. So who's more hot, Malakath or Blythe? Malakath, he wears black. But I may be biased. Also, I think I said Malakath. Nope, this isn't Elder Scrolls, it's Malakath. Kath. It's like the Geth, except with a K. Speaking of, John, how's, Mass Effect treating you? And there's something that says they were touched by the Crucible or something? Yes. Hence my thought process. Most Misbegotten are shorter than Banished Knights, so I feel Misbegotten are births. That really doesn't mean much, especially if we're talking about something that has touched, quote-unquote, the Crucible. They can be transformed into whatever size, shape, or whatever they want, right? Like, that stuff you can just attribute to artistic license. I'm not gonna be like, well, they're kind of smaller than the Banished Knights are typically depicted. Like, they're all copy-paste enemies. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else, though, we can add to the pre-Horaloo screenshots, though, I think I got all the stuff I wanted there. Let me just double-check. Also... Oh, wow, those Misbegotten are legitimately peaceful. Yeah, I know, Night Scout. Isn't that a surprise? I hate Elden Ring. Why, John? Because it won't give you the DLC you want so desperately yet? Fortified Manor is near Gransex's body and other ashes, and it's an older zone that's possibly well kept too. It is near Gransex's body, yeah. Not sure if that means much, though. There's something else I want to double check. Also, again, every time, like I said earlier when we were here, that lighting is just so unnecessarily bright. I want to see, because we have the two red trees here on the left and right side. Yeah. Yeah, I'm aware about you. You know, we should check, chat. We should check if we see those exact same tree models being used in Farm Missoula. I know there's the bush models. We have like red bushes, which I don't think are used anywhere else in Farm Missoula. I can't. Are you kidding me? Really? While I'm healing, if I just scrape, I can avoid it? That's good to know in the future. Anyway, let's check Farm Missoula real quick. Where would it be? At the temple at the town? Still on 2. I'm glad you're enjoying it. My favorite orc god. Yeah, Peddler, I can imagine. Malakath, defender of trolls, orcs, and all. I recall it's like all those shunned by society. The outcast. Okay, yeah, sorry, buddy. I'm not fighting through all of you. I have one mission and one mission alone. There are red trees, though I don't think those are the same trees that we saw. Yeah, these all look like they just recolored the trees you see in, generically around the lands between. Yeah. These are too big, but they're closer, I think, to the leaves we see there. It does seem to be the same red color, or something close to it, though. But it's hard to tell because the light is a little different. Like, it makes them look a little paler. This is like really, really, really white lighting, so... Oh, there, my shin shield broke. He's just staring out there. Go, go, go. Up. Reminder, I need to get Slicer re-added at some point. Oh, we took the other shots already. Maybe Morgoth's curse made him taller since he loses height? Yeah, it's always possible. It's possible with the way the monstrosities or stuff are. They could be like forming, shape-shifting, growing, shrinking. Like, yeah, I totally can buy that. You weren't here for the stream yesterday, Night Scout, I think. So I'm gonna assume you haven't seen it. But I actually like threw out a random shower thought, which I thought was interesting, which is what if the demi-humans are the results of Newman and Beastmen interbreeding. So similar to how we talked about I talked about the idea of maybe humans are the result of Newman and dragons interbreeding, so dragons take on human form, at least I hope they do, before they do the biggity, and we get ourselves all our human descendants into dragon men, and then eventually diving into all the various human races we know today, blah blah, right? So what if the demi-humans are a similar thing, and that's why we find them everywhere as like barbaric tribes, so similar to how humans are spreading, and so for whatever reason they're becoming more, in many cases, barbarians or something like on the plateau. We see the same thing with these demi-humans, where you have Beastmen and Newman coming together, and they become these various various mixtures between animal and man. End up having to live like barbarians and out of sight of Farm Missoula for one reason or another. Interesting idea I threw out. I'm not seeing the same trees though, chat. I'm seeing similar trees, but not the same ones. A lot of these seem to be using other generic tree models recolored red, which at the very least, it does support the connection between the fortified manor, the Sun Capital, well, the fortified manor mostly, but again, the idea of those from the fortified manor and the Sun Capital having a Far Missoula origin with these red trees that they seem to be so fond of here. Let's try over there at the garden areas. Are you done? God, they're not done. Where's my old hunter's mark when you need it? Those trees look like the big trees. Oh. I have more to explore over there, good to know. Well, that's something for the Let's Play to worry about. I think the hailing tree is depicted with red leaves. Oh, is that so? Is there red trees at the hailing tree? I actually don't recall that, John. Maybe the red trees in Langdell are just the oldest, rather than this being a species of red leaf tree. Maybe, but then it would still be connecting them straight to the Banished Knights in Farm Azula. So I don't see how that creates a substantial difference. I feel like that might be overcomplicating it, but yeah, maybe. Anyway, Farm Azula's current state seems to be well dead. Even the color of the lighting feels lifeless and spent. The trees here might be dying or heavily in autumn. Nice guy, you really want to push the autumn thing. Again, red lightning is a thing of this area. Then we find red trees. Also, if we're trying to make an area about how this area is so lifeless, why aren't the trees just dead then? I mean, Farm Azula has been here, up here, in the sky, like this, for quite a long time. So if they wanted to portray how it's been up here and everything's dead, they could just kill everything. I mean, if we're going to believe that the trees are somehow up here, surviving in one form or another, and not just long dead, like they should be, in any sane, rational idea of having an entire landmass just suddenly wrenched up into the sky like this. Up at this high altitude with all these winds and everything, like, yeah, I don't think anything would be surviving in any normal situation. Checking back here. People have played the seasons to say the lanes between before. The trees might not have dropped their dead leaves because of Placidusac's time slowdown. Is there a time slowdown because of Blackie? Again, gonna have to see that for myself, I suppose. That's why it's always frozen time of day in Farm Azula. I mean, I think that depends on area. I think we've already established that time of day and stuff can be completely either A, arbitrary, or based on the cosmic forces at work. Like, say, with the altar and stuff, so... Oh, yeah. I know Blackie lives between time and period, so I'll accept the idea that he's freezing time. At least for the time being. Well, I'm not seeing any of the trees that I was hoping we might see. Just all the stone trees, or again, the copy-pasted ones from the basic Limgrave area. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to look at now? No, I think that's it all. I think that'll be it. Farm Azula's cosmic forces seem to have flown the clip, including literally with the god. That much is certainly true. But again, the point is that I'm not sure if we can necessarily rely on the skybox being an accurate tell on whether or not time manipulation is at work here. Yeah, I think it's possible, especially if we're supposed to go with the idea that all these winds and stuff represent, you know, time or something to that effect. Before I forget, actually, let me bring back my HUD. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, get back here. They're probably gonna want to take screenshots of Altus. Would be a good place to. Do I? Let me quickly get shots of the basic Dominula landscape. God, it really is always. Whenever you warp here, it's always foggy. They really want to do that ominous atmosphere. Also, Lane does the Erdtree in the Elden Ring, yet even experiences a day and night cycle. Yes, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you can't have a normal day and night cycle when you have, say, something possibly cosmic involved. I'm just saying that cosmic forces can preempt as being just like, well, time is frozen because it's always one essentially, one. What's the word? Not state of day, right, Chad? It's more like. Or I guess I should just say time of day or whatever. But I guess the best way to put it is like one temporal state, because like the cosmic bodies aren't moving or changing at any time. Because again, we do see that in other places too. So you have to kind of go with either it's artistic license, which maybe, or it's because these stars and these beings are affecting things. But again, totally think the time frozen thing is possible. I'm just gonna assume it's true because I haven't actually fought Placky yet. Jeez, it's not easy getting a good angle here, huh? Maybe if I do it from here. Even the trees here want to be stone dragons. What's that, John? Stone dragons. We go for high ground. I can't remember if I think we got shots of Golden Roa last stream, right? Erdtree tiling. Erdtree tiling. Okay, that's all right. Everything's right in the world on that front. Oh, you know what, Chad? I like this so much better. I like this angle so much better. It's not even funny. Let's wait for this tree to sway that way. Alright, I'm happy with this. It seems like there almost needs to be a special ritual place or possibly an outer god reaching to an Imperium, example Ronnie, for the fixed time in that regard. Yeah, it's possible. Also, if Marika was chosen by the Greater Will as the successor to Placky's god, it's curious why a frozen day blessing for Farum Azula wouldn't be rescinded and given to Langdell. Certainly a good point. Though, again, I don't know if I would call it a blessing. Like, what's the... I don't know if that's the benefit. I think it's more so to just show the presence or the watch. Like I said, could also just be artistic license, though I think definitely, like we said with the Ronnie example, I think that makes it less likely. Purity. Yeah, I just like having this shot, chat. Very good. Anyway, I think that's the last stuff, though. Dominola Highway Tower. The Sun Capital Graves. fortified manor. Pagan district of all the pagan quarter of all things. Nothing we care about here. Wyndham, Lux, Port Light, Volcano Manor. I think that's all. Like, maybe we get a shot from Highway Lookout Tower? Just so we can kind of have this idea of, look, it has view of all of this land. That's the only thing I can think of I'm missing. My body is begging me to sleep, and I'm like, no, must get more screens. Can't end this. I was kind of hoping this would be like a 30-minute stream, and as always, my hopes are always dashed by my own stubbornness. The blessing might be the contact or favor in Outer God, like the Moonlight Altar seems to have. So you think it's just the idea that the contact itself is what you mean by the blessing. Okay, fair enough. Again, I will never not find this unfunny. My man's like, he doesn't see me. I'm still in ambush. Man, I'm glad I went behind these rocks. Really make sure I keep in hiding. There he is! Never saw it coming! Yeah, you got me. Also, why? Why? This rainstorm better end soon. I'm just gonna assume the rain's gonna stop by the time I get up here and kill everything. God, my nose is starting to drip. I have to blow once we're done here. Again, future Loki can worry about that. Man, this would be a great shot to have if, you know, it wasn't raining. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll stop. Eventually. Oh my goodness, you can see them dancing from up here. Actually, that's kind of... Ah! You bastard. That's actually really cool. Woo! They load in. Woo! They load in. Again, that's actually kind of cool. I'm just gonna sit here and read chat until it starts getting sunny here. So, back to beast. Being tied to a wild beast seems reflective of animalistic strength too. So I don't know if most misbegotten would be depicted as shorter than the average human if an adult mutated. Well, they want to have basic enemies too. So yes. Anyway, so seems reflective of animalistic strength too. I mean, the animalism we see is by their behavior and their animations and things like that. Their attack patterns and stuff. I mean, dogs are animalistic and they're tinier than you. Like, I don't see this idea where if we're gonna go with the idea that they're touched by the crucible and they transfer. They're human, but they touched by the crucible and so they transform. Which seems to be at least the angle they're going with, making them humanoid and stuff like that. But if they're doing that, and we're having, okay, we have big misbegotten, we have tinier misbegotten, we have Linine misbegotten. They're all still portrayed as very animalistic, regardless of size. The urge to unravel a Japanese story and tell English speakers it's strong with Loki. I suppose, I guess, John. I guess that's a way to frame it. Oh, look, the rain's starting to go away. That's nice. Even Bach, the most civilized of the demi-humans, is one of the smallest. Yeah, Bach is portrayed as maybe diminutive, but like so are other demi-humans. Again, they're also an example of really animalistic, but really variable in size. So whether you want to say that demi-humans were the result of transformation or birth or descent, either way. Again, I just don't see this idea that, well, if you're a result of transformation from an animal, you have to get bigger. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. People have compared Dominula's pink flowers to hallucinogens. Sorry, I can't speak today. Well, tonight. Hallucinogens. If so, it's curious why these flowers appear in the Woodfolk ruins too. The pink flowers, you mean? Actually, I haven't seen that, so maybe we'll do that for next time. Yeah, I like this. Also, for possible other Crucible stuff, the red-haired fire giants and their respective pet birds and dogs are huge. I don't know if that's Crucible stuff. I've said it before. I'm pretty sure that's just a Caelid thing. They're native to Caelid, and then the giants brought their pet birds and dogs with them when they moved to the mountaintops. And for some reason, they just all are very big. It's a very odd little detail for Caelid. Why is Bach the only one that talks? Because apparently he's the only one that likes outside culture. Every other demi-human seems to hate us instinctively. Anyway, a short one being the one that's willing to talk so, not go berserk at night is intriguing. I think only so far as it's supposed to show Bach as pathetic. But, like, I don't think he's that much smaller. Like, the thing with Bach is, like, he really hunches over and stuff. So, he kind of reminds me of... Actually, let's go check that real quick. This will be the last thing, though, I promise, chat. I need to sleep. I'm actually kind of curious. Because he reminds me of, like, the Lothric slaves, where the Lothric slaves, they look really tiny and small, but then you, like, actually, like, look at their bodies and stuff, you're like, oh, well, if they stood at full height, they'd be about our size, so. Like, this guy here, he's got his little digigrade stance that he keeps down to his knees all the way low. And he's got his big, hunched, servile look. Like, honestly, he'd be... If he stood at full height, he'd be at least close to our height. And that's about the size that demi-humans are. Like, let's just try Lux Ruins, just to use an example. Those red eyes are curious too. I wonder if the glowing red eyes indicate losing sapience or some curse, like how the accursed blood plots make spirit ashes get the eyes and go berserk on targets. There is, I do recall red eyes appearing somewhere else, and it got my oh, right, it's with the Dominula women. Because they get red eyes when they start going berserk, right? When they start being like, ah, we're gonna eat your flesh. So yeah, maybe. There may be something there. Yeah, look at this. So you got a demi-human. Now, it doesn't seem like he has the same digigrade stance as Bach. Yeah, a little bit. But we can see, like, yeah, it can be just about our size, not slightly taller, depending on... And then you got the other ones here. Wait. Oh, there you are. And you got these guys, who, again, a little curved or whatever, a little smaller than us from first glance, but you can tell if they had their full height, they'd be about our size. So Bach seems to be smaller, but not by much. Okay, buddy. This guy's obviously big brute man, so a little bigger. Obviously the chief is even bigger. Oh, you died in one blast? That was like, oh my god. Man, I can't wait to pick up the string. You know... I wasn't being serious. We got really small boy here. This one's more like Bach. This really tiny guy here with the assassin blades. Man, gotta try to do this without killing them. Yeah, this glowstone and the ruins fragment was one of the things that made me start thinking of the idea that they may be from Farm Azula. No, I didn't mean to kill you, assassin boy. I was aiming for the other one, but the lock on. No! No! Why? Why are you the one who lives? Assassin boy! Okay, yeah, these guys have more like box feet. Yeah, so these smaller guys, which look like they might be slightly smaller than us if they stood at full height, and they weren't like so low to the ground doing their assassin things, would definitely seem to be more of it. So again, I don't think box size is necessarily to show civility. As we can see, you could be a very small demi-human and still be portrayed as very monstrous. I think the reason that Bach is chosen to be the small, diminutive type is because, again, they're trying to show him as kind of pathetic, weak, diminutive. Someone who wants to make sure you're almost beneath his notice, because, again, he's hates his own ugliness and all that, right? What's the deep lore on the demi-human string, Loki? These demi-humans are very easily amused. You just get some string, some glass, you tie it on there, and you start jingling it. It's like freaking car keys. They just can't look away. The serious answer is that I think it's just because they're scavengers and they scrap together whatever they can. I just need one of you alive! To be animalistic they are, they might just gather because they're shiny. Yeah, again, this idea of the key jingling would definitely be a possibility. But again, I think it's more so because they're scavengers, so they just take all this little stuff that we don't care about and they scrap it together for their little barbaric culture. They're like, oh, look at what the humans make. We can use this. The glowstones, though. The glowstones, like you said, could just be, ooh, shiny, pretty, pretty. That was one of the things I also considered during the stream. But then the ruins fragment sort of makes that a little harder to argue, because then it's like, okay, but the ruins fragment isn't as bright or shiny or anything, so it's almost practically none of that, so. Okay, so you we want to keep them off. Okay. They can kill each other? Well, we gotta get rid of you right away. Demi-humans! What the hell? Friendly fire? Yeah, this guy's a little tiny boy. Honestly, I don't know. I may be wrong because it's been a few minutes, but this guy might even be smaller than Bach. I'm gonna say he's about the same size. Actually, feels like he could be smaller. Anyway. Do they craft the glowstones? I don't remember where we get the cookbook for crafting glowstones, but I want to say no. I actually I can't remember where we get glowstones themselves, so I'd have to look into that. Anyway, chat, that's gonna be it. We're gonna end things here. I think that's how we're gonna end it, yeah. I can't think of anything else that I want to get shots for today. We've got all the things that I want, so probably should try to actually get some sleep. So, bye-bye.